Hi, my name is Tom Agustin, and I'm part of the Corporate Service Corps Team 2 headed to Vietnam. The purpose of this video is twofold. One is to introduce myself to my teammates in this kind of video format, and two, to actually use the video format as an experiment, because we're going to be creating content, audio and primarily video, hopefully, to share with others in IBM and perhaps even the blogosphere as we go through our activities in Vietnam. So if you'll indulge me, let me tell you a little bit about myself, starting with IBM. My title is an external communications manager. What that means is I work with external influencers like the press, of course, industry analysts, academics, authors, and tell them about our IBM solutions primarily in the industrial manufacturing sector. Previously, I worked with IBM Research. I worked for Global Services, selling hosted applications like e-procurement, and I also worked for the networking services arm that was ultimately sold to AT&T, and even done some wild things like worked for the Nagano 1998 Winter Olympics, creating content for their website as part of the IBM team. Now, outside of IBM, I actually run a small group here, a chapter of the Fulbright Association, which hosts visiting scholars and students and teachers from overseas who are attending Connecticut universities. We host them and take them to activities like a tour of IBM Research, sometimes theater trips. We've even taken them for a picnic on an island way out in the middle of Long Island Sound offshore. I also teach at NYU part-time for the past 3 years. I designed and teach one course on wireless communications, another on telecommunications technology and regulation. On the personal side, what do I like to do? Well, I like to swim to try to stay sane and you know, somewhat fit, to the extent possible, driving a desk. I love music, everything from classical to fusion to classic rock. Not everything, but my tastes are pretty eclectic. I also have some weird hobbies, like I'm an amateur radio operator. I'm a licensed pilot, although I don't get to do either of those activities very much. I love going to the theater because I live near New York City with my wife and our dog Jack. Here we have crazy dog time. I also like a lot of humor, many different types of humor. For example, let me start with a joke that I think is appropriate. If someone who speaks 3 languages is trilingual, and someone who speaks 2 languages is bilingual, what do you call someone who speaks 1 language? Well, of course, the answer is American. And I try not to be that kind of American, although to be honest, English is definitely my major language. I studied Japanese because I lived in Japan for almost a total of 9 years, both with IBM and before joining IBM. And although it's very rusty now, I try to keep that up. My wife is Japanese. And I'm trying to learn Vietnamese now a little bit, so at least I can say things like, "Officer, please stop beating me," and some of the essentials. So anyway, look forward to working with you. Thanks for indulging me with this little video experiment, and I hope we'll be doing a lot more content, and I'd love to see and hear from you. Thanks. Bye-bye.